welcome to 9th and 10th channel of BYJU'S. I'm your teacher Ankita and I welcome you all in today's class. In today's class, we will be discussing about a very important chapter from the history, which is print culture and the modern world. And I can say that that's the last chapter that we have in history. So I hope that all of you are ready for an amazing class, right? Let's see how many of you are here, and I hope that all of you are in good health, and I hope that your Josh is really very high for the class. Good evening Bhavish, good evening Vaishnavi, Anupriya, Hansika, Nirishika, Karnak, Nirishka, yes Muskan, Sohil, Gitika, Muskan, yes, Chinmay, Prabha, Ritambara. Good evening everyone. So in today's class we'll be discussing about the last chapter of history, which is print culture and the modern world. Right? It's a very I would say that it's a very interesting chapter, and it's very important for 1 mark MCQ, especially the picture based question, and of course for 2 marks. From this particular chapter, mostly you'll not be getting the 5 marks question. So the weightage when we see about it, it's not that great, but yeah, it's a very important chapter. We will try to finish it up, okay? अच्छा, कल आपका board है, guess बच्चे, we will be needing mostly 1 hour and maybe a little bit here and there. थोड़ा सा 1.5 hour maybe, but 1 hour for sure. I know Bhavesh, I know. Hello Nikitika, sorry, Nikita, Neeraj, good evening everyone. Are we ready? I hope that you can see me and I hope that you can see the screen. Hi Sanya, hi Prabha. Yes Vaishnavi. So just in case if I'm using the other language, that is Hindi, that will be a very little in the throughout the session. We'll be focusing only on English. But here and there, if I have explained a full concept in English, I might repeat it in Hindi just in case if there is a demand of it, okay? Just to make sure that all of you are on the same page. Hi Anshul. Okay. Very good. All the best for your examination. Yes, Muskan. So, bache, we did the blueprint for SST this week only. So, you can go and watch that session out. It's on our channel. So, please go and watch the session out. Okay. Yes, very good everyone. I know that you will be needing a lot of revision for SST. Our target is that once next week we'll be finishing off your chapter and then we'll start with it. Okay, so everyone, let's get started. If you're new here, please do take a moment and hit the like button and subscribe button for this interesting and amazing channel. Now in this channel, we are running a series which is Jeet Ka Josh. Apart from that, we have other amazing things also. Okay, so please make sure to subscribe to the channel so that you can get all the academic related videos. Apart from the academic related videos, we have interesting videos to help you understand the concepts in greater detail and with much more of creativity. So please make sure to check out the page. We have created a special playlist for all of you. Okay, so we have the playlist which have the chapters, right, of different subjects all together. So you'll not get lost somewhere. You will have what you need. You'll not be wasting your time in looking for something you can easily find out in the playlist. I hope that you will be looking into the playlist. Yes, everyone. I know that you need quizzes and we are planning for that. Anshul, there's nothing, बच्चे guarantee तो किसी भी चीज की नहीं रहती है, right? So of course, the blueprint is there because it came into the picture from the CBSE, right? When we had the sample paper, we did our own research and talking to the different resources, that's what we thought. Okay? Bhavish, hopefully in the future we'll also have, but it's very long dream, right? Yes, everyone, I hope that all of you are ready, all of you are clear that what we'll be doing in today's class. In today's class, we are discussing the print culture and the modern world, the last chapter I would say, of the history, class 10th. I hope that all of you are ready. Very quick everyone, thumbs up to all of you. Give a thumbs up. Today we don't have Menti, but from the next week, of course, we'll have the Menti, right? Make sure to attend all the classes. Every post, every session we have, right, the information is posted on the community, so please you can go there and check it out. Okay, I can see lots of thumbs up. So let's get started, everyone. Now this particular chapter, right, will give you approximately 4 marks. That's an important chapter. Mostly we'll have the picture-based questions, okay? And when we talk about this chapter, we have divided this chapter into 4 parts. Harshit, you're not late. You're right on time. And let's get started. Yes. Ma'am, similar to some people, will the question be yes? Mostly Bharat, yes. Okay. Hello, Saurav, Saurav Yadav, Saurav Chaudhary. Welcome everyone. Yes. Now you only tell me. Okay. Very good, everyone. So let's get started. Yes, Bhavesh. What is print? You only tell me. Thank you, Rahul. Okay, everyone. So let's talk about the printing in the Eastern Hemisphere. Now, what is a print? Easy question to start with. What is a print? Yes, very good, everyone. Welcome to the class. Poonam and Shyam. Proof, right? What is a print? Gunjalpati, we don't have Menti today. It's a theory session. Everyone, what is a print, right? When we talk about the print, right? Of course, something that is printed on somewhere. Something is there on something, right? And we say, oh yeah, it is printed on this. Over here, if we talk about, we have a plain sheet, right? If I add something on it, right? If I put a design to it, I can say, oh, this is printed paper. It has something on it. So that is print for us, right? And the first topic that we have is the print in the Eastern Hemisphere. Now, in the Eastern Hemisphere, we talk about, we have these countries. Talking about from India ka east, right? We have China, Japan, South Korea. In the lower part, we have Indonesia and other countries over there. Okay? So what we have, the earliest kind of print technology was actually evolved in the countries like China, Japan and the Korea. Okay? This is important, everyone. Now here we have a very interesting thing. Okay, how many of you have tried this trick? You take a coin, right? And you take a coin and you keep a tissue paper, right? And then of course when you trace it, you'll be able to see something like this. Yes? How many of you have did actually in your childhood? This is an easy tracing technique. Yes? Yes, Padma. Padma did it. Okay, Harshit. Hansika also. Bhavish. Haven't tried. Kanak. Sham. Yes. Right? I think majority of us have tried at least at some point of our life. So, now we can easily trace it with the help of a piece of paper, and of course if you have a pencil, we'll be able to get the image out of it. Yes, and this becomes really very important for us. From there only, slowly the development of the tracing, I would say, transferring of one print to something else started. Yes? Right? Everyone, I think this is clear, right? And when we talk about this, it's not something new to us, right? Yes, Bhavish, you're asking which Korea? They have just mentioned Korea, and at that time, I think there was no division per se. So yeah, I will not be able to go back and see in the history, like as of now. But yeah, we will say that it's Korea. Okay? Very good. So what had happened that definitely we had a feeling, we have to carry something out, we have to trace this, we have to take information forward for the next generation, and that's how eventually people started actually collecting these information. And this is not something new to us, right? When we talk about the Discovery Channel and of course the ancient civilization, we all know that they will also draw the diagrams with the paint, right? With the red color paint, they will actually rub the rock. They'll get the red color or any color rock. When they'll rub it, they'll add a water, and then they will use their hands to paint. We have seen those paintings in the caves, right? And different monuments which we have World Heritage Site around it. So it's not something new for the human civilization to actually leave a mark of the surrounding that we have at that particular time. So that actually was there inside our brain, and that's how this all started. Everyone, are we clear? Yes? Clear? So that was, we can say, could be the beginning of the print culture, right? Or to have these designs that we have. Yes. Okay, noted your point. बिल्कुल श्याम, पर तो तुम बहुत ज़्यादा ages होंगी Okay. Yes, Bhavesh. So we are just talking. There was nothing educational into it. It was just that we have proofs के जो पुराने लोग थे, they used to paint, right, in the caves. They'll use their fingers only to paint. That's what. It's not in the syllabus. Just talking about how the humans have a tendency to leave their mark in the history. Yes. Okay. Now let's talk about this, and we're starting with a very important 1 marks. They can show you this particular print, right, which we have in the textbook also, and they can ask you identify the type of print we have, right? We have the wood block print. Okay. Yes, I think that was England, I guess. I'm not sure, but it was Queen, so I'm just assuming that. Okay. So we have the wood block print, where of course the print was done by rubbing the paper, okay, on against the inked surface of wood block. So this is, we still have this, right? We still have wooden block. We'll have the paint and we'll just tap it. And of course that's how we'll be able to see the print. And it's very common in India. Are we clear, everyone, about the wood block print? Yes? Very good, everyone, very good. So I can see many of you have joined just now. Welcome to the class, everyone. Welcome to the class. We are just getting started with the chapter of history, which is print culture in the modern world. Important thing, everyone, a humble request to each one of you. First, please don't spam. Second, let's just make sure that you're not talking among yourself. Right, we have the moderators with us. They'll take an action if you're not listening. And if you want to talk, please leave the class. Like, I don't mind, because if you feel that this topic is not important for you, please don't disturb the class. It's humble request. Nobody will feel bad. Okay? So let's just make sure that all of us are on the same page, and let's move ahead. Okay? Yes, tattoo designs. Yes, nowadays we have that, right? We can just, the mehendi design is also there. We can, there'll be a red color thing, and of course in a wooden, they'll just pat, right, and we'll have a print on the hand. So what we have over here, we have the wood block painting, and the wood block painting is nothing but on the piece of wood, of course, they will have engrained some print. They'll add the ink onto it, and they will rub the paper onto it. Okay, and that's how we'll able to see the print. Clear, everyone? Yes, Jesh, you have just explained. Yes, Satsang, welcome. Yes, welcome everyone to the class. Very good, very good. Yes. No issues, Manish. Welcome to the class now. Yashoda, welcome. Yes. Awesome. Okay, now that we have this, let's move ahead to the ahead more in China and ahead more in time, right? So what had happened, that paper definitely was very thin at that time, and it was very porous also. Okay, see, what is the meaning of porous? It can actually, it has a lot of, it can actually take the water. So what had happened, that initially at that time it was just a very thin paper, very light paper, and it was very porous paper were used to print something in the China, right? But China were really very advanced in that way, right? They will have the paper folded on side, and they'll stitch it actually, so that there's a little bit more depth. So for example, if you have two papers like this, right, they can actually stitch at the corners. Yeah, very good. Yes, like this, right? They'll stitch at the corner, and then they'll use. This will give them actually, a kind of the accordion books like this. When you fold something, of course, it's become a little bit, there is a layer, and that actually help us. Yes, very good. Yes, a little bit, Bharat, but not that much same. Sandpaper is still a way more thicker than the initial paper that were there in the China. Yes. Yes, very good. So this is clear, right? And of course we have this book's name. So again, it's a very important thing for all of us to remember. Then we have the skilled craftsmen and the calligraphics, right, were hired to copy the duplicate books. Now I can see that, yes, we discussed about that, what is calligraphy. So, different types of handwriting that we have, which looks very artistic, right? We call it as a calligraphy, and of course, there are people who will be writing in this particular way. And I'm sure in your summer classes, it could be a course also, right? To learn the calligraphy, they have different ink pen, and that's how you'll be writing it. Okay? The art of handwriting, absolutely correct. And there are different fonts, right, and different ink, basically the pen nib that we use, right? Each of this will be giving a different feel to the fonts. So we have this, right, and of course that was there in China. Yes. Very good. Yes, Ayush, please don't spam. See, again I'm telling, if you're spamming, you might be time blocked or blocked, time out, so please don't. Yes. Nai Pushpa, Nai Bhavish. Okay everyone, I hope this clear. Very good everyone, very good. Okay, so let's move ahead. Stamp in official paper, yes, yeah, could be. But again, stamp, it is almost same. Yes. Very good, Bharat, yeah. We don't have Menti, Ayush, we don't have Menti. Nice, very good, Harshit. Okay, everyone, are we clear with this, right? Now let's move ahead and let's see the journey of it. Now this is the print culture in China, okay? We have the print culture in China. So of course, we have the print material. Of course, they were the largest producer of the print material at the very beginning. Since the time the people actually realized that we can actually print something, we had this information from China. Then of course in 16th century, they started actually printing textbook, right, for the examination to fill by the bureaucrats, right? It's a very good thing, right? At that time also, they were a little bit advanced and they had their examination written. Yes. Clear everyone? Then of course you have the 17th century where of course we know that the urban print culture came into the picture and it moved to the merchants, colon official, and to the rich women, and eventually in the 19th century it traveled to the western part of the world, right? And when it went there, of course it got more and more modernized. Clear? Yes. Pro Gamer, we did a session on the blueprint of the social science paper. You can go and check that out. Yeah, Dhanya, I'm just thinking the same thing. So for the bureaucrats, right, for the official that were working in the government at that time, they might have to write something. They might check their knowledge on types of ethics they have and so on. Very good. Okay, so it's a very, you can take a screenshot of it everyone. Basically, it's a very brief summary of what happened in China. So in 16th century, before that it started 16th century when they had the paper, and of course we have the proofs there, you know, the official will be using the paper for the examination, right? Then of course as we move ahead to the 17th century, we know that the print become more and more evident in the life of people and it started moving towards the women, right? And of course it was used by the urban people also. Then in the 19th century, before that also only, the spread of the print culture goes to the west. Are we clear everyone? Yes. Very good. Yes, Vedansh. Okay. Aisha, Arohi. Let's not talk between each other everyone. Very good. Okay. Now let's move to Japan, right? Here, way back to Japan everyone. Yes. So in Japan, of course, we have this very important book, everyone. Again, a 1 marks question. For the print culture, for the print question, they can ask you, right? That what is Diamond Sutra? Of course, it was the oldest Japanese book, right? Which contained the 6 sheets of text and woodcut illustration. Very, very important book, right? And of course, we have the Buddhist missionary from China that actually introduced the print culture to the Japan in the 768 and 700 CE. Okay everyone, so this is important information, just this part. Remember the name of the book and what is it about and where it is found. Okay? Yes, very good. So of course in Japanese printed were there on the textile, paper, money and playing cards. And of course Japan poet and writers regularly published their work. So they were very active, right? If you look at them, right, the same thing we see in China also and the same thing we see in Japan also. Yes. Yes, Vedansh, ये MCQ के लिए बहुत important chapter है. So from this particular chapter you will have 3 to 2 MCQs question, जो mostly शायद से picture based question होंगे, right? Yes. Second point बच्चे वही है कि Diamond Sutra, what the Diamond Sutra book contained, right? It has 6 sheet of text and of course woodcut illustration. Simple. Yes, Avish, I have repeated. Okay? Yes, this is important, everyone. Wherever you have the image in your textbook, right, please make sure to go through them. Read what is written beside the text that you have. Very good, very good. Ayush, yes. Ukiyo. See, I think, just 1 minute, I have the textbook. So, if you go on page number, right, usually keep it because, many of you have, they have some doubts when where it is and from where we can study. So, everyone, if you go on page number 107, there are three pictures that are shown, right? Out of that, we have one box one. So do remember the name of the painter and what is the meaning of the painting. Okay? This is how, it will be very easy for you to, remember all the things. Yes, my name is Ankita. Welcome, welcome. Okay. Yes, very good. Moving ahead, everyone, talking more about the Japan, of course, what we have a very ancient book in Japan which is from the Edo. Okay, and of course we have the visuals here now. So initially it was just all text, but as the time moves, right, there were visuals also in the printing. Apart from that, in the 18th century, right, at the Edo we have the illustration collection of paintings like this we can see over here, right, and these paintings depict the urban culture which was there at that particular time, not the ancient culture but the current culture. We can see a hot air balloon kind of stuff which is there, right, and it has a different artist, we have different cultures which were there, and they were just trying to make sure that everything was there printed. Yes, are we clear with this, everyone? Very good, Ayush. Yes, it is present. Yes, Anshul, it's there on the channel. Good evening, Anand. Hello. Okay. So that's about it. The one more interesting thing that as the time was moving, of course, it became more and more accessible to the people. And then, of course, we have libraries in Japan. So I think Japan was already way ahead, right? And they have the libraries where they have the books for the women, on women, musical instrument, and whatnot, flower arrangement, famous places, etc., etc. Okay. This is not important from the exam point of view, so you can skip that part. Everyone, are we clear up to here? See, we started with the Chinese, right? We talked about the China. Again, very important one thing. What was the important thing that we have studied in China? That how it started, and of course the wood block print. Then of course we moved to the Japan and we talked about the different print, and most importantly we discussed about the Diamond Sutra, which is a very famous book, right, very old book of Japan, which have the 6 sheet, and of course it has woodcut illustration. Clear, everyone? Yes, you will get the PDF on the Telegram group. Clear, everyone? Are we clear with this? See, can I tell you, Anshul, you are asking, is it confirmed blueprint? Yes. Now you have to read, right? Don't say कि हाँ मैम ने एकदम बोल दिया तो वो ही आएगा. Majority of the time it will be, right? 100% guarantee तो I will not be able to take because I am not making the paper. ठीक है, मैंने पेपर नहीं बनाया है. अगर मैं पेपर बनाऊंगी तो वैसा बनाऊंगी. So chances are that mostly it will be there. Very good, everyone. So please go through your pages number, like the first page itself, जहाँ पे अकबर के कोर्ट में लोग बैठे हैं, which is important picture, can be asked in the examination कि कब किस time की है. We have the picture of 106 for Diamond Sutra की picture है right over here, if you can see. Yes. Then of course we have on 107 also, both the pictures are very important. Clear? Vanakkam, I can see many of you have joined. Welcome, everyone. Yes, I hope it's clear. Can we have this question? Ayush. Very good. I hope you're helping one of your friends. I'm sure I must have missed this question, but yes. Everyone, let's take a question over here. Here, let's have a question, and I want you to answer this question really very quickly. Okay, here we have. Which of the following countries first printed textbook for the examination conducted to fill bureaucratic position? So, which country actually conducted the examination? Yeah, if it's possible, if we can have the poll. Everyone will have a poll in a minute. Yes, poll is there, everyone. I hope that you'll be able to see in a minute. Yes, everyone, please vote now. I have voted. China, China, China. I think the correct answer is there. I have voted, everyone. Nice. So, we can end the poll, right? I think A will get all the marks. Yes. Very good. So, the correct answer over here is China. Okay. Okay, let's move ahead, everyone. So, till now, we have discussed about Japan and we have discussed about the China. Now, let's talk about the next topic, which is Europe. And I'm telling you, out of this all, this is very, very important topic. Super important topic. Okay? Very, very important topic, everyone. Please make sure to go through this. Now, let's move ahead and let's talk about what we see in the print culture in Europe. So, here we have the Marco Polo. How many of you have heard about him? I'm sure you have heard about him, right? Yes? Who was Marco Polo? Lots of movies are there, right? And lots of, I think in series, in history, I'm sure you all have heard about him. Yes, of course, he was an explorer, he was traveling, he was a painter, he did lots and lots of things. But of course, paper reached Europe, right? Of course, no, paper actually reached China with the help of Silk Route only in 17th century. And around 1295, Marco Polo brought the woodwork from China to the Italy. Now, this was a very, very important thing that happened. Yes, SK, I'm sure you would have heard of. Okay, he got that information to Italy. Okay, so he bought this technology from China in 12th century to the Italy. And of course, then what happens? I think Europe, even though, like, you know, when we talk about the different histories, Europe specifically played a very, very important role. Now, Europe was a very important continent that has the acceptance for various things. And because of that, we had so much development in Europe. Very good, Anand. Very good. Merchant, and he was explorer, writer who traveled through Asia along the Silk Route. Very good. No, he was not a citizen of China. Yes? Right? Okay. I hope that you will be able to balance it out. Okay, everyone. So, we know that. So, examination, you can have a picture of him and you have to identify him. 1 marks question. And what is its contribution? So, maybe they'll ask you the contribution of so-and-so person and they'll ask you pick the correct answer for the name. Remember the face, everyone. Okay? Then, of course, as he got the print culture there in Europe, what happened? The demand increased, and of course, the people want more and more books. And slowly, the scribers, right, who will be writing it over there, they actually got employed to copy the books. So, if there's a copy of a book, there will be people who will be writing it with their hands. And that's how the people got their copies. Are we clear, everyone? Yes? Okay, how many of you have a beautiful handwriting? Be honest and tell me, how many of you have very, very beautiful handwriting? And especially if there is any assignment submission, maybe your friends are asking you to write that assignment for you. Yes? Right? Because a teacher, when they'll see a notebook, if it's a bad handwriting, yeah, we know that the teacher will not be able to see the content properly. Yes? So, at that time also, I think people who had a very amazing handwriting become these scribers. They'll be writing it what they have, right? Maybe there's a book which came from somewhere, and there are people who will be writing it. Yes. That's very nice, very nice. I can see majority of you are saying that yours is very good. Awesome. That's good. Yes. Excellent in examination. Happens. Okay. Yes, it reached from China to Europe. Yes, it's reached from China to Europe. No, the first point is talking about that how it reached China. Long back, right? Okay. And then of course Marco Polo took it to the Italy. Yes. Very good, Pranam. Okay, everyone, let's move ahead. Then, of course, what happened? Yeah, we have it. And we have the production of the handwritten manuscript, right? Of course, when people are writing, can you write? Let's suppose I'll tell you to write 1,000 pages in a day. You're able to be to write all of it? What do you think? Can you write for let's suppose 8 hours a day? Tell me. It's impossible, right? Will not be able to write. So that's what happened over there. And with this, what we saw that it become a little bit more time taking, and people actually were started looking for some solution, basically some fix, so that actually they can reduce the workload. Right? So what happened, as of course the manuscript, right, the manual script were written again and again, right? We had more and more labor, right? And of course they actually thought, we have to find a solution for it. So slowly what will happen? What actually happened that the manual people, right, the scribers were no longer writing it, and they said bye-bye. Adio means bye-bye. Now the people started looking for some solution, and we will just see it that we will have the solution for it really very quick. Bharat, it means bye-bye, goodbye. Okay? Copying became really very expensive and very time consuming, and eventually could not be carried because they were really very fragile and very delicate. So this was a time whenever there is a need, right? Whenever there is a need. So what happens? We will see some invention. Agree, right? Wherever there's a need created, right? Wherever there's very, very important need, what we see that someone will be creating something really amazing that will change the course of the history. You agree, right? Invention. China से यूरोप में आया, just like we can say that, SK. Yes, that played a very important role. Yes. Necessity is the mother of all invention. Absolutely correct. So what happened? We have a very important name, everyone. Again, do remember the name of the person and of course the picture. 1 marks picture based question. Yes, we have the Gutenberg, right? Now this is very, very important. So Johanna Gutenberg developed the first known printing press in the years approximately 1430s. Okay, and what he did, he actually traditionally used the woodblock method that which was used in China, right? But he knew that it will not be catering it. By using the same technique, he actually mixed it with his own knowledge, and he did something which is of the metals, right? So known for the olive. So what he built a printing press with the moving metal type, right? And what happens? So there is a print. Okay, it goes like this. So that's how it started, and of course he had its own printing press, and that was a very, very big change in the history, because after it, we have 180 copies of Bibles in 3 years. So that was a very big change, right, that we had at that particular time. Yes, everyone, I hope that all of you are following. Yes, I hope that everyone clear, right, everyone? I would love to see that all of you are focusing in the class, and very good, very good. Okay, So you just have to remember the year and the person name, right, and nothing much more. Then this is interesting, right? This is there in your textbook also. So basically they have mentioned. Okay, can you see on page number 109, everyone? Yes, can you see 109 page number? So over there, of course, we can see how the machine works. Now it's for us. It will not be coming in your examination, but it's for us to remember. Trick it as a little bit small trick kind of thing where we'll be keeping things. That's like nowadays we say. Clear, everyone? Yes? Quick thumbs up, everyone. I know, Kanak. History is a story only. I hope that all of you are focusing. See, we don't want to put you on timeout. Yes. Clear, right? Very good. Awesome. Hello everyone, I can see many of you have joined. Very good, very good. So over here we have this, right? Now let's talk about this. So what he was doing actually, he printed the Bible, right? And over here we have a picture of the Bible page. And of course it was definitely the print was clear. But apart from that, it actually gave the owner the chance to customize it, right? You want leaves? I will give you blue color leaves. Oh, you want something else? I'll give you that also. So of course we know that the metal letter print looks similar to the ornamental handwriting, right? So what he did actually, he had a metal alphabets, right, onto which they added the ink, and that's how it was got printed. Apart from that, the borders of the page were very much beautiful. They've added some bling to it, right? And that's why they were looking very, very lavish per se. Then of course the purchaser actually could decide the design or the pattern that he want in the book. Yes. Chetna, what is not clear? हिंदी में एक्सप्लेन करो करती हूँ. तो हम लोग बात कर रहे हैं ग्लूटेनबर्ग्स की, जो एक्चुअली उन्होंने फर्स्ट प्रिंटिंग प्रेस, बेसिकली फर्स्ट प्रेसिंग जो प्रिंटिंग प्रेस का था उन्होंने स्टार्ट किया अराउंड द टाइम 1430. उन्होंने क्या किया, उनको एक टेक्निक पता थी जो उन्होंने चाइना में देखी थी, वुड ब्लॉक टेक्निक. उसको वो अपने कंट्री में लेके गए और वहां पे दे स्टार्टेड विद द हेल्प ऑफ मेटल्स. फिर उन्होंने 180 बुक्स बनाई बाइबल की, एंड ही एक्चुअली गेव अ चांस टू द कंज्यूमर जो ले रहे थे, बुक ले रहे थे, आप अपनी डिजाइन चूज कर लो, ये सब चीजें. ओके, तो दिस इज इन शॉर्ट व्हाट वी हैव स्टडीड. एवरीवन क्लियर? यस, कम ऑन एवरीवन, आर वी क्लियर? वेरी गुड. So this is there, everyone. This is the history part of it is though looks very interesting, but it's not important from the exam point of view. You should just know it once. Okay. Now, this is where we see the revolution happening. What happened? Advent of the age of printing. By the time people were like, yes, we have something really very amazing and we will do it. So between the 1450 and 1550, people actually started setting up the printing press in Europe. We had this in Europe, and of course printers from Germany traveled to the different parts of Europe to help them to set up the printing machine. So Germany at that point were very much advanced, and they were actually helping in the machinery work. This is very, very important. Yeah, it is present in some of the museum also. Yes, if you want to, if you will go, if you just search it, you might see the machine. Yes, okay. Now, by the second half of the 15th century, we can see these numbers are not important, but you should know that by the 15th century, the number have gone really very big. Ritesh, class, bacha, I think will be able to finish hopefully in 45 minutes. Okay, 45 minutes we will be able to finish that class. So what had happened that there was a big shift from the hand painting to the machine painting, and everyone, this is a time. Now this is a time we should be very proud of, to the invention, to the creativity of the mind, that the hand power actually took, the machines actually took the power from the hand. and we had a very active printing press. Are we clear everyone up to here? कहानी की तरह सुनोगे तो बहुत अच्छा है, राइट? कहानी की तरह सुनेंगे तो बहुत अच्छा है कि हाँ चाइना में लोग लिख रहे थे, उसको लोगों ने कॉपी कर लिया, लोगों इंस्पायर हो गए, वहां से जापान गया, जापान में लोगों ने अपनी और टेक्निक यूज करी, फिर वहां से फिर कोरिया में भी था, फिर चाइना में जब लोग आते थे बाहर से सिल्क रूट के थ्रू, तो उन्होंने वो टेक्निक देखी, वो अपनी कंट्री में लेके गए, उन्हें लगा कि वहां पे भी वी कैन डू समथिंग, दे स्टार्टेड यूजिंग देयर ओन माइंड एंड बेस्ड अपॉन दैट दे स्टार्टेड क्रिएटिंग समथिंग रियली वेरी अमेजिंग. Very good, Anand. Yes, okay. Question time, everyone. We'll have a poll question, but this is not a poll question, it's a theory question. So a 2 marks question which can easily come from this particular chapter is over here. We have to write a note on the Gutenberg's press, and over here this is how you can write the answer. Important points, what we have to remember: traditional woodblock printing could not sustain, so that's why he actually did, by using his knowledge, he set up the press, right? And it is called as the gluten press, okay? And of course he made 180 copies of the Bible in just 3 years, and the invention actually kick-started the print revolution. And of course, as we know, as we say, rest is in the history, so that's what we have over here. Clear? So actually if you talk about a person who actually contributed more in the printing culture, we should remember his name, okay? Everyone, are we clear? He was the one actually who started the printing press, right? So if you're going back to there, he was a very, very important person in the history. Okay. Now let's move ahead to the print in the new world. From here, the chapter becomes really very easy. Okay. यहाँ से बहुत easy chapter है, and let's look over here what we have. Now, of course, we had the books, right? But do you think that all the people were literate? Do you think that all the people at that time, even if they have the books, they can read? Yes or no? Tell me. Yes. Right? Even though we had the, books, but they were not all the people who can actually read. So for them, we have the public hearing and reading. Okay? So what will happen? So we'll have the public hearing. I'm sure abhi bhi dekha hoga aap logon ne, if there's any big author, right, who's releasing their books, they will be going to a different city and they'll be doing the book reading, right? And of course, based upon that, people will ask questions and so will happen around it. So that was very common back then. Oh, there's only one person in the village who can read, so all the letters will be read by him. We have seen in movies, right? तो हमारे ये तो मूवीज में इतना अच्छे से दिखाया हुआ है कि गांव में सिर्फ एक ही पढ़ा लिखा इंसान है, तो जिसके पास भी लेटर आएगा वो उसके पास लेके जाएंगे कि प्लीज लेटर पढ़ दो, राइट? सो एट दैट टाइम ऑल्सो व्हेन द पीपल वर नॉट लिटरेट, they will have the public hearing. So person who actually know how to read will read the book for them. And to make it more easy for them, what they did actually, they performed the folk dance, right? They did ballet. They did have so much around it so that a person can actually understand this. See, now we are studying. We are in a class, it's a theory class, right? And we're just discussing it out. Just imagine. Now just imagine if I showed you a movie. Or maybe we have some performers who are actually showing you all of that we are studying through our act. It will be interesting, right? Yes or no? Yes, it will come it will stay with us. Right? It will stay with us forever and you will remember this for a very long time. Agree, right? Yes. So that actually gave people the chance to visualize things, and that's how after some time what we will see that people actually started painting also along with writing. So that's what we have on the slide, which talks about the hearing and the reading. Common people before the arrival of the books, they will see some dance, they'll hear some songs, right, and they will understand this. I'm not sure serious art, I'm not sure about it. Whether they do cost for reading, I'm not sure. Maybe they were just doing it for, for the people. right? Books were creating for new culture to read, and of course slowly access were there. An illiterate who could not read the books, so they will enjoy the books by listening, by seeing the visuals of it, and of course that's how we will see that they become more and more aware about what is happening around them. Clear, everyone? This is important. Then of course in history, when we talk about, here comes a very important point that we kind of still debate: religion and print. Now from here, what would happen that when people are very expressive, right? Now let's suppose all of you are very expressive now. Yes? You're very expressive now. Moderator को अरे क्या बोल रहे हो पूर्णा? Sorry पूर्णा. हाँ मतलब अगर आप बात करोगे तो टाइम आउट तो हो गए, right? So we are here, right? When given us a chance to express ourselves, what happened? We have our opinions, right? And there are times when there could be two different opinions on one particular thing. Huh, okay, black is good. Oh no, white is good. So again we have two different parties hooting for two different things. Yes? So what happened with the print getting arrived in the world where religion was controlling things? We saw that there was a kind of kheenchtan, right? A little bit of issues which were started occurring between the people who are printing and who understand and the religion. So there were lots of things which were kind of banned, and there were a lot of discussions and debates would happen. So printing enabled the debates and the discussions. People who disagree, right? They'll start printing the message in bulk and they'll just paste anywhere here and there. Right? And of course, at that part, religious authority took the action, no, we should not be doing it and we have to take a control. What is going for print? See, I'm sure, now religion is a very controversial topic per se, not just in our country, but if you go anywhere across the world, religion is a very controversial topic. Why? Because religion is very close to the people's heart. We all believe in a certain religion, and for example, none of us would love to hear something bad about our religion. Even if we have some good points with us, right, when we can debate. Lakshya, debate means to have a discussion where there are two different parties and they are giving their opinions, right? What will happen? Of course, you might say something to me, I might not like it, right? And that becomes bigger and bigger with the time. So at that time also print and religion were there standing in opposite poles, right? And that's how the print actually started questioning religion and their practices. It's not new, it's a very old thing that was happening from centuries now. Clear? Everyone, are we clear? Yes? Yes, very good diamond creation, very good Simran. Yes. Clear, right? Now we have something really very important over here. Now what we have Martin Luther, right? Not the Martin Luther King, I'm sure, don't get confused with it. Please focus on the name, okay? Here we have, right? So in the 1517, he actually wrote 95 criticizing articles based upon the practices we have in the Roman Catholic Church. He actually took those papers and actually pasted on the church itself, okay? Wittenberg Church, and he invited Catholic Church to debate his idea about. So what happens, his writing was reproduced in large number, and of course that was a kickstart for the Protestant Reformation. A very important 2 marks question, that who started this and how it started, we have it over here. Clear? So अगर इसे शॉर्ट पे बताएंगे, so we have Martin Luther, right? In the year 1570 में उन्होंने बहुत सारे आर्टिकल्स लिखे against the Catholic Church, और उन्होंने चर्च के बाहर जाके वो सब आर्टिकल्स चिपका दिए. फिर उन्होंने बोला कैथलिक चर्च को, I challenge you to have a debate with me. क्लियर? एंड जैसे ही जब उन्होंने डिबेट के लिए चैलेंज किया, उनका जो काम था उसकी और कॉपीज बना के क्या करा, लोगों के पास में पहुंची, और उस कॉपीज को मिलने के बाद में दे स्टार्टेड अ रेवोल्यूशन, राइट? इट स्टार्टेड अ मूवमेंट ऑल टुगेदर. यस, आर वी क्लियर एवरीवन? So do remember his name and his face. Very important. Very good. Now comes everyone. Not everyone like him will be able to survive. We have a case of Manouche. Manouche. Okay? Manouche. Can you see over here? Manouche. So, Manouche, right? He also actually took actions against it. He also had debates about the practices. But of course, unfortunately, he was executed by the church. The church said that, no, we'll not listen what you're trying to say. And of course, he lost his life during these discussions. So this is very important. The 16th century, right? He read the Bible and of course, he formulated different views of the gods and its creation. And of course, the Roman Catholic Church punished him. And that was not a good thing, because then after that, what happened? Church then started imposing several controls over the publishers, and they of course have to maintain an index of prohibited books from 1558. Clear? So what happened? They actually executed him, and they made sure that the publications, right? The publishers who are there are not publishing anything. They went back and they said, you know what? We will not let you publish it. If you do that, we will damage your press or we will hurt you. Clear, everyone? Yes, his name is Manouche. Okay? If you break it up, you will be able to find it. Manouche. That's the pronunciation we have as an Indian. I think in its own country and the own pronunciation will be a little bit different. Manouche. Something like with an accent it will come. Yes. Very good. So we are talking about the print culture in a new world, in the new time when the revolutions were happening. We have Manouche, right? And what he did basically, when he started reading about the Bible, he actually objected the creation and the God, right? And he started questioning the church, and church, what did at the end was to execute him. He lost his life, and then of course church became really very active in terms of what will be printed and what will not be printed. Clear, everyone? You will get notes. You will get the notes on the Telegram group after the class. Okay? Yes, very good. Heard like Pinocchio, the one with the long nose. Kanak, because for example, let's suppose for example, if I'll tell you, the black is the only favorite color, and everyone should follow it. But maybe you like white color, or maybe you like blue color. It's okay, right? So what had happened at that time? The church believed that the religion is everything, right? And nobody should question anything. Church were at the power, they're very high. Oh, we should talk in a certain way to the priest. We should not question them. Okay, can I tell you very basic thing? What happened if someone else, for example, if any adult in your family just say something wrong, right? And when you oppose it, what happens? What do you think what happens? If there's any elder in your family who said something wrong, right? And when you try to correct them, what happens? They always say, "Naini, you are wrong." Yes. At that time, nobody questioned. That time people were very, very kind of in their own word, or maybe they didn't have that courage. So that's why that particular time, these things are very common. And I'm sure that you have heard about a lot of scientists losing their lives, right? I'm sure all of you know about the history of Galileo. That's just the one name we know in the history. There are so many scientists who drank poison or who were executed just because they didn't believe the church, right? And just because they said that Earth is not the only planet, Sun is not the one, right? We are revolving. I'm sure you have read in your history. Yes? So see, I'm telling you, the good thing about the history is that it's there. In every sense, be it the science, be it maths, it's everywhere. The SST. We are creation, right? Simran, I'm explaining you, bache. Yes. Very good, everyone. So we talked about the two men, right? We talked about the Martin Luther, and then we talked about the Manouche, right? And they were the people who actually opposed the church. One, of course, was executed. Manouche was executed by the church bodies because they felt that his points were not valid for the discussions. And of course, the Martin Luther, when he invited the church people to have a debate with them, a lot of people become aware about it and they started the revolution. Clear? Yes. Okay. Now let's talk about this. Now this is very easy peasy. Everyone, right? Now this is a book from the chapbook. Can you tell me what is a chapbook? By looking at the name, can you tell me what is the chapbook? Yes, hello everyone. Yes, what is a chapbook? So chapbook is a very small book which will have either 20 to 40 pages, right? And the good thing about this book was that it was kind of, folded in such a way. They have used a word which is called as the saddle print, basically. Saddle stitches. Sorry, not the print, saddle stitches. So if we have this book, right? Yes, kind of pocket book. Yes. So if we have this book, right, if we take a center of it and if we place it, right, if we stitch it properly with a saddle, that's what we call it, a saddle stitch or a stapler, this book, the formation, basically the opening and the other things, that book, whole structure is called as a chapel book. It will have approximately 20 to 40 pages and it will have the stories. Okay. Now in the 18th and the 17th century, we witness the literacy rate become a little bit more higher because people are reading books now. Then of course churches have different denominations set up for schools, and of course they took up the literacy for the artist people, for the people who are working, and for the farmers also. Then by the end of 18th century, this is a very big number, 60 to 80% people in the Europe especially were kind of educated, were actually literate, means they can read and write. Okay. Then of course we have this all thing. We see there's a printing of the Amalconsens, right? We have the ballads, folk tales, lots of things started getting printed out. Okay, and that's how we know that science and philosophy become more and more evident among the people. And that is a duration, everyone. If you go back now, 16 before that, right? 18th century se pehle bhi people were very much aware about it, about the science. But at this time, people were like, yes, now we know, we will be publishing papers. We will start actually writing our thoughts and proving it. Right? So this is what will happen when we are educated. Are we clear, everyone, with this? Yes, are we clear, everyone? Thank you, Ajay. Everyone, I hope that you're focusing. Very good. God, we are not sure where it did. Exactly here, I'm not sure. Yes, Piyush, so we are talking about by the 18th century ke end tak na, people will become more and more literate. People can actually read and write. So that at that particular time we'll see there's a lot of growth happen in terms of number of publication of books, the different types of stories were written, different types of text were written, right? And at this particular duration only, science and technology, basically science have spread very quickly throughout the world, and philosophy also. Clear, everyone? Yes. I hope that you got this. Very good. Now moving ahead to the next topic, that how the print culture actually impacted the French Revolution. Now think about it. Can a piece of paper with something written on it can actually create a revolution, can actually shake people's souls so that they take some action? When we look at it, it looks really very big, right? But it all started with a small thing, right? Now when people become more aware about what is happening in the surrounding, how the kings are enjoying their life and the people are dying. People are fighting in wars for them, but the kings are kind of in a comfort zone. They will have their own rivalry, right? But what is happening? The people are not getting progressed. So that was a time, of course. Then we saw that the print culture actually initiated the movement or accelerated the movement, and the people took the action against. It's not that important, I would say, for 5 marks question, but 2 marks question and 1 marks question. Especially the MCQ question will come from this particular chapter. Yes. Okay, very good. Yeah, documents are really very important. So what happened when the print became very much popular? We have the thinkers. Now these thinkers started speaking, started writing, and they initiated the minds of the people, and that's how we saw the revolution happening. We have the development of the culture through the dialogues and debates, and the outpour of literature, mocking royalty and criticizing their morals, right? And see what we have over here. We can see in this picture that the writers are attacking the royal palace during the French Revolution. Okay? So this is a very basic thing that we have. Clear? So it impacted, a print can actually impact the downfall of a whole the system that we had for a very long time. Moving ahead to the next topic, which is the books for children and for women. So that time again, now this is a very easy topic, everyone. Just remember the names, right? Here we have few books names which are mentioned. Just remember those things. So what happened? Yes, now the people are learning, they're going to school. So slowly we see that there are lots many children's book were started in the came into the market, and we have the first exclusive child press, children's press specially meant for children's book, was there in the France 1857. And of course we have the Grimm brothers from Germany. This is very important, usually as a 1 marks question. Right over here I'm writing 1 marks question. Please do take a screenshot of it. Okay, please take a screenshot of it, right? And of course they write the rural folk stories for the kids. Then of course we have the books for the women. Women were not allowed to go out and learn, but of course they had the luxury of reading the books at home at that particular time. So they have lots of magazine that talks about how to keep your house clean, how to cook food, etc. Behavior was also one of the type of book that we have, right? And slowly women of course become an influential writer. They started writing, and from there as we say, there's no turning back. We have these famous author, I'm sure you have heard about them, Jane Austen. How many of you have seen the movies, right? And the books which were written by her? Yes, education actually made everyone gather together. Okay everyone, are we clear? Very good. So this is important. This was a very important part in the history. Yes. Talking about the commoners, what was happening to the common people? Common people were also enjoying their life. They used to go to the library. They'll be lending the books, right? And it was there since the 17th century. And in 19th century, of course, we have more and more white collar people, and the lower middle class people started going there, artists going there, and they started reading more and more about the different cultures around the world. And from there, of course, we have, we have workers, and they started feeling that we have to improve ourselves, we should get more knowledge about it, and that's what happened. So everyone, I hope this is clear, right? This part is clear. So that the biggest bulk of it is the print in the Europe, and then of course we have the print in the New World. Clear? So this was a very easy topic. I hope that everyone is clear. Quick thumbs up, everyone. Right? How many of you need a break? Everyone, how many of you need a break? And I hope that everyone, you have hit the like button for the video, right? And I hope that you have subscribed to the channel. I'll give you a 2 minutes break. Everyone, do hit the like button. Easy peasy topic, and I know Simran. Nahi chahiye break. Just take a break of 1 minute, okay? Just refresh your mind. Yes. Okay? Everyone, please make sure in this break, agar break nahi lena hai, to go and hit the like button for the video. Yes. Very good. And it's a very important thing, everyone. So in the description mein, there's a link, right? And on the community post also we have asked you that what are the doubts you have for your board examination. So we'll have a very interesting session in the next week. So please make sure to drop your doubts. So there's a form, click on that form, write your doubt and your doubts will be answered. Okay? Okay. I think all of you are right, all ready, set. We don't have to wait now and let's go. हाँ दिमाग हैंग हो जाएगा ये बात भी है. Okay everyone, last topic of today's class, that is the printing in India. Now India ki printing is very very old, right? You only tell me how many have heard about the printing culture that we have in our country. Yes Radha, we are here. We will be helping you, don't worry. Yes, tell me everyone. I'm sure आपने सुना होगा कि रामायण लिखी गई है, महाभारत है, बहुत सारी बुक्स हैं, बहुत सारे पुराण हैं, वेद हैं, right? Which we had. बहुत कुछ टेक्स्ट बोलते हैं कि we have it. So the text, right? The printing was nothing very new to us according to the proofs that we have, right? So पहले इस तरीके के वुडन स्लैब्स पे, वुडन एक्चुअली पतले पतले पीसेस पे वी हैव दीज स्क्रिप्ट्स व्हिच वी टॉक अबाउट. बहुत सारी इंफॉर्मेशन वेद के बारे में बहुत कुछ बोलते हैं. सो वी हैव सम प्रूफ्स ओवर हियर दैट एक्चुअली शोज दैट दिस इज हाउ ऑन द पीस ऑफ वुडन प्लान द पीपल विल राइट in different languages. And being our very diverse country, we had many script, not just in one language, but we have it in Sanskrit, Persian, Arabic, different languages all together. Yes, we will have it sort of very soon. So these of course are very fragile because they were very old, and of course they are very expensive also. But of course even so, like especially in our country, we have a little bit resistance towards a new technology. So it was there in the beginning, but yeah, even after some time we were using the old technique only, but eventually with the time we actually took the participation into it, and then we have. Yes, session kab tak chalega? I think 20 more minutes. Yeah, 20 more minutes. Yes, very good Simran. Yes, Guru Granth Sahib, Bible, yes, we have all of these books, right? And they were written at that time. Okay, now let's see how we have this introduction of writing, scribbling, right, that we talk about. So the Portuguese missionary, right, they were the first one to introduce the printing press. So again, very important, it was not that India where we don't have the knowledge of print. It was there from the very beginning, right? If you go back, there was the knowledge. There was the knowledge of the printing press, but there was the knowledge of the print. But the Portuguese were the one who actually came up, right, with the printing press in India in the 16th century. Everyone, are we clear? Yes, we will do PYQ bhi hai, revision bhi hai, don't worry. Over here, right? So we have the Jesuits missionary. They learned Konkani and Kannada and printed about 30 books. Such a long number of books, right? 50 books, sorry, by the year 1674. Important year, everyone. See over here. Clear? Yes? Okay? Very good. Then of course we have that by the year 1710, we have Dutchess, right? The Dutchess Protestant the missionary printed 32 Tamil books, right, including the translation of the earlier work. So they basically were helping people, and that's how we saw the spreading knowledge. In 1713, the first Malayalam book came into the picture by the Catholic priest. Okay, clear everyone? Picture based question, Rama, from this particular chapter we will approximately have 2 to 3 questions from the picture based. Okay, clear? Thank you Piyush. Hello. Yes, see again everyone, it's up to you. I hope your time is very precious to you also as it's precious to us. Please don't waste your time. Okay, please don't waste your time. Okay, so that's about the printing press introduction in our country. Then let's talk about the early print process. Now, over here we go back to the to the England time, right? To the time when we had the East India Company. Yes, we have the East India Company at that time. So the East India Company imported English language printing press in the year 17th century, right? In the 17th century. And in the 1780s, this is very important, we have the Bengal. Get straight, right over here. Can you see the picture over here? Yes, in your textbook also you have this picture. Not this, a little bit similar to this. Yes. Right, so it came into the picture, it's definitely mentioned in your textbook, right? And this magazine was formed by whom? Yes, the magazine was formed by James Austin's Hinckley. Mikika Hinckley. Okay? Clear, everyone? Yes, please do remember this name. Very, very important name. Okay? He is the one who actually introduced the Bengal Gazette, right? And the weekly magazine, it was formed by him. Remember the name, everyone. In the year 1852. Okay, how many of you remember Raja Ram Mohan Roy? Yeah, I'm sure you have studied about him in class 6th or 7th. Mostly in class end of 7th or maybe the beginning of your 8th standard. Raja Ram Mohan Roy, sorry. Yes? Very good. So yeah, in the year 1821, he is the one who actually published the Sambad Kumudi. Okay? And of course, he started writing about it, he started publishing his own idea into it. And about the Hindu Orthodoxy published Samachar Chandrika. Two again very important names. Can I highlight this? In different color if you want, right? Samachar Chandrika. Wait, I will make a square over here. So these are really very important names you should remember. Okay? Yes. Then of course we have some religious publication, and as the printing press came to our country, what we saw that in the year 1822 we have Persian newspaper, which is Jamaya Jahan, right? Nama. And we have Shama Shulk Akbar and Gujarati newspaper Bombay Samachar were published. So in the year 1822 we had the names of these publications. So remember all of this, everyone. Okay? The Ulman and these Islamic scholar, right? These scholars who had the knowledge of the Quran and who were actually at a higher place where they have the good knowledge about these, right, about the religion, they started the releasing their text also. Okay, this is again very important in Urdu. Clear? Then of course they started printing the fatwas, the announcement, basically the rules that we have, right? One has to follow this, oh this is important. Things like that came into the picture, and slowly we know that it just become common for all the people. So we have this, and of course it will instruct the Muslims what they have to do, what they don't have to do. So fatwas also came into the picture. And see over here we have the printing press. Okay, now this is just the names are important. Again I'll put a star over here. Names are really very important from this particular chapter. It has so many names, please make sure you remember them. Then of course we have the paintings by Raja Ravi Verma. Very famous painter, everyone. Very famous painter. I'm sure you would have seen his paintings, right? If you visit the museum that we have in the southern part of the country, you will surely see his pictures, right? Especially the royal families, right? Their portraits were actually made by him. Okay, the picture that we see over here is made by the Raja Ravi Verma. In your textbook also there was a picture, right? On page number 123. Can you see this picture? Yes, this picture was there in your examination sample paper also. जो भी CBSE ने recently paper जो आया है, they had this particular picture. okay, and the question was based upon it. So please make sure to see all the pictures of this particular chapter for sure. Yes, okay. So in the year 1810, of course, like around the, you know, the Ramcharitmanas was printed in the Calcutta, and of course in 1880s, numerous texts that we have. You know, again, remember one more important name: Naval Kishore Press and Sri Venkateshwar Press. These two press contributed heavily for the religious print that we have in our country. Okay, they are very important press name. Please do remember them. Okay, I'm writing 1 marks question. Clear? Then the end of the 19th century, of course, we have the visuals now, and the visuals, of course, we have the they have used, you remember everyone, in the last chapter we saw that at that time, the age of industrialization, we saw that they'll be using the goddess picture in the calendar or on the matchbox, soap case to promote them. Yes, so promote their product. Yes, so that's why the printing becomes really very important during that particular time. So of course we have, you know, we have these amazing paintings, and that's how we know. So moving to the next topic. Now this is kind of goes in a flow. They are very separate topics in itself. So in the 19th century only, or not, if you go back a little bit back, right from the 18th and the 17th century, a little bit ahead of that, especially in the 18th century when women were not allowed to go, and in the beginning of the 19th century, women actually find that by homeschooling themselves, right, by reading the books, they will be able to educate themselves. And that's how we see that so many women, right, they actually contributed to the society by reading at home school. And look at all of us, we have so much freedom, we have so much privilege, right, that even if we are sitting in a class, we will not be listening. See, that's what happened, right? So when these people didn't have much of the privilege, they were studying really very hard. And sometime when even if we give the privilege to the people, they'll not focus, they'll just talk random things, right? So we need to understand that how people have actually suffered, so that we have this life, and we should not be taking anything for granted. Yes, so we have this. Remember the names of the famous females, right, who contributed to the education of our country. Apart from the women's, not just the women, we have men who actually contributed to the educating the society. We have B.R. Ambedkar, right? I'm sure all of us have heard about him. We have Periyar, right over here in the picture. Now they made sure they addressed the social issues of the racism, casteism, and they made sure that people are aware about it, that we should not be having such things in our society. We should not be dividing people. We should be uniting people. So leaders like these, when they wrote articles, people become more and more aware about it. And that's how we now see that we are living in a society where, of course, there are few things which are not great, but there are so many things which are great, right? Just because these people have really worked very hard. Right? So what we have over here, do remember the names of these leaders, right? We have Periyar, we have B.R. Ambedkar, Jyotiba Phule, right? All of these are a very famous name. I'm sure all of you have heard about them. And they contributed so much more. And we have this, that, during the time of the development, these people, and of course the other people thought that, the labor should also study. They have established various libraries also. So these are the important points that we have to remember. And all of this was happening during the struggle of our freedom. So these things were contributing towards it. And then we have very famous thing that we all know. We have the we have the Kesari newspaper. Can you tell me who started this paper, Kesari? Yes, Ajit, we will do a recap or a summary, then I'll explain to you. Everyone, what do you think? Yes, Kesari paper. Alright, this is a very famous paper. Yes, Gangadhar Tilak. Yes, very good. So, What happened? That Gangadhar Tilak started Kesari reporting about the mishappening, right? What is happening in the society? He actually took the action against the Britishers. He started writing about it. At that time, Britishers were actually, suppressing the press that we have in our country. They were not allowing the people to, write about the articles. They were just writing about themselves. They had a lot of control. They had a lot of control in the press at that time. But still, Bal Gangadhar Tilak reported that how the people are mistreated in their rule, and he started the movement ahead, right? We all know him as an amazing freedom fighter, and he was the one who was taking a charge in the printing press. Okay, very important, everyone. This is very important. Again, an act which is there, which can come for 1 marks, is that in 1878, Britishers actually passed a law, that the Vernacular Press Act, which provided the government with a free hand to censor the editorial and the reports. So basically they have the power. Yes, they have the power that they can actually report. If anyone who have written something wrong about the Britishers, they can actually take the person and throw in the jail, which was not definitely is not a good thing, but yeah, that happened during that time. Yes, it was suppressed, it was, but it still created the buzz about it, right? Created the revolution that a kind of people are aware about it. Yes, they tried it, but it didn't happen actually. Here and there, people were still getting the information. Yes, Bal Palan Lal, absolutely correct. Okay, everyone, let's take a few questions over here. Right, here we go, everyone. Who founded the Bengal Gazette? Easy here. This question is really very easy. Everyone, quickly. Yes. Very good. Very good. Very good. Everyone, let's poll. Let's vote over here. We have a poll. Sorry. Very good. And the correct answer is option number D. That's absolutely correct. Just remember the name. Next question, everyone. We have one more question. So we can end this poll now. Option number D is absolutely correct. Thank you. And yes. Here we have the next question. Which of the following publications were released by a Hindu Orthodox to counter Ram Mohan Roy? Sambhad Kamundi. Cha होगा वो. Yes. Yes, this was very, very famous, everyone. Very good. See, if you see this on the page number 120, on actually page number 120, you will be able to find this information. Very good. And time's up, everyone. And the correct answer is Samachar Chandrika. So let's quickly revise. There's a summary for whole chapter. Those of you who had some confusion, let's just pay attention now. I'm revising it. So we started with the print. It originated in China, Japan, and in the Korea. Then we discussed about the early hand printer used to rub paper technique. They will be rubbing the paper on the surface which had some ink, and that's how the printer were working at that particular time. And we call it as a wood block technique, right? Then of course we have the Buddhist missionary which actually took the printing from China to Japan, and there they had a very famous book which is the Diamond Sutra, right? Which is very, very important. Now the Japanese culture added the visual concept into the printing. Then by the 18th century, Japan saw we have the libraries, and of course they were book for everyone. Talking about that how it moved from the eastern part to the western part, we have Marco Polo that took the wooden block technique, and of course it moves to Europe. Paper definitely evolved at that particular time, and people started using the different types of scripts altogether, different types of materials altogether. Then we have Gutenberg's, right? He modified the wine press and used the metal types to build a movable type printing machine, and this was a revolution, right? And he started printing more and more books, and of course books become more and more famous, and from there we have the establishment of the printing press. I will explain in Hindi also, but just give me a time. First in English and then in Hindi. Then we have Martin Luther, right, a religious reformer. He actually printed his arguments and pasted it on the walls of the church, and of course he invited people for the discussion from the church. And that's how we see that we had the Protestant Reformation. There was a revolution against it. Then of course we talked about the other people, right, that they were struggling, and slowly people will become more and more aware about it. Then we have the hand printed script that we have in our country, were definitely there. And of course the printing press came to our country in the middle 16th century, came to with the help of the Portuguese. Then of course the Christian missionary took the task of printing various translation, various book for India. That's how they were impressing us, I guess, and then so that they can invade us later. And then of course what they did, they made sure that they made materials for the people so that it can spread all around. Then of course we discussed about that how the printing actually become a very important part in the Indian freedom movement, where people started using that forum for the debates and discussions. We have Kesari, a very good example of it, which actually provoked a lot of people, which actually enlightened a lot of people to be a part of the freedom. Then we have very famous people who contributed to the society, and they actually helped. They've used their knowledge to communicate people, to educate people that they should not be the evils of society. Definitely they talked about the evils of a society, and they urged people to support them and discard those evil practices which are there. Then of course we discussed about the different acts which were imposed by the British government on us, on our Indian press, to suppress ourselves. ठीक है, this is in English. अब हिंदी में अगर बोलना है तो everyone, if you want to stay, you can. Just stay for one more minute. I hope that all of you have hit the like button, subscribe कर लिया है. हाँ, क्लास खत्म होने वाली हिंदी में बताऊंगी मैं. So हिंदी में हम बात करेंगे तो प्रिंटिंग कहाँ से ओरिजिनेट हुई? चाइना में, जापान में, कोरिया में. चाइना में वुड ब्लॉक टेक्निक यूज करते थे, वो वहां से फिर जापान गई. जापान ने अपना ओन फ्लेवर ऐड किया, उन्होंने पेंटिंग स्टार्ट कर दी, विजुअल रिप्रेजेंटेशन स्टार्ट कर दी. उसके बाद में ऑफ कोर्स प्रिंटिंग स्प्रेड हुई. फिर वी सॉ दैट के बुद्ध में जापानीज में एक वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट बुक थी जो है डायमंड सूत्रा, विच वॉज प्रिंटेड, राइट, विच वॉज जो उनके प्रिंट कल्चर में है. डू रिमेंबर द नेम ऑफ द बुक. उसके बाद में मार्को पोलो ने ये टेक्निक ली और इट स्प्रेड टू द यूरोपियन कंट्रीज. देन ऑफ कोर्स वी हैव द ग्लूटेनबर्ग्स. ही एस्टैब्लिश्ड द फर्स्ट प्रिंटिंग प्रेस जो उन्होंने बनाई 1430s के अराउंड में. उन्होंने पुरानी टेक्निक वुड ब्लॉक टेक्निक को मिक्स किया अपनी वाइन शॉप की जो टेक्निक थी. मेटल यूज किए बेसिकली टू हैव द वर्ड्स अराउंड इट, एंड उन्होंने जो पब्लिशर्स उनको ये बोला कि हाँ, यू कैन एक्चुअली चूज द डिजाइन एंड पैटर्न्स इनटू इट, एंड ही स्टार्टेड पब्लिशिंग द मोर एंड मोर बुक्स. उसके बाद में वी हैड द डिस्कशन कि किस तरीके से मार्टिन लूथर और मेनोकियो ने what they did, they actually opposed the church. They actually asked for them to debate. Martin Luther, what he did, उन्होंने बहुत सारे आर्ग्यूमेंट को पेश कर दिया वॉल्स पे, एंड ही सेड कि प्लीज टॉक अबाउट दीज थिंग्स. Unfortunately, मेनोकियो ने आर्ग्यूमेंट किया, बट ही वॉज एग्जीक्यूटेड. Now that actually started the revolution के लोगों को लगा कि why we cannot ask questions about the religion, and that's how we saw that it actually impacted the French Revolution also. उसके बाद में we came to India, जहाँ पे we discussed कि इंडिया में पहले ही बहुत सारी लैंग्वेजेस में टेक्स्ट थे. पोर्चुगीज ने प्रिंटिंग प्रेस दी, फिर उन्होंने जो फॉरेन जो इन्वेडर्स आ रहे थे, they actually published lot of books in a different language. Then we talked about how the printing press become the very important step for the in the freedom. कैसे प्रिंटिंग प्रेस ने हेल्प की लोगों के पास में आवाज पहुंचाने में, विचार पहुंचाने में, ताकि लोग फ्रीडम को सीरियसली लें और ताकि फ्रीडम में जाके पार्टिसिपेट, फ्रीडम फाइट में जाके पार्टिसिपेट करें. Clear? So this is what we have in this particular chapter. I hope that all of you are clear. Yes, Hindi English दोनों में समझा दिया. I hope that everyone you are clear with this particular chapter. If you have enjoyed the session, please do make sure to hit the like button. And if you're new here, please do take a moment and subscribe to the channel. Yes. With this, we will end our class. Before we end, we have a very interesting thing for all of you. If you want to improve your spoken English, right? I'm sure कभी कोई ऐसा लगता है कि हाँ English थोड़ी अच्छी होनी चाहिए, हमारी English improve कर सकते हैं, and you don't know where to go. We have the solution for it. So we have a 2 months program for the English speaking. So please, you can try it out. Link of the program is in the description below. So do check it out. And as we say, we've got you covered, everyone. Make sure to hit the like button, right? Share with your friends, and most importantly, everyone, subscribe to the channel. Okay? Thank you so much, everyone. With that, I'll say bye-bye. Take care, everyone. We'll meet. Keep yourself safe and keep on learning with BYJU'S. Bye-bye. Good night.